I grew up in Phoenix, obviously.
I know.
I have one question.
Yes,
and
sir.
I don't know if you've ever answered this. You probably answered a trillion times. Why did you throw that towel in Danny Ainge's face?
By the way, he's answered, Channing, he's answered this on our podcast.
I wasn't there.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You weren't on the podcast that time. But he's answered it on the podcast.
Dude, you know I don't listen to our podcast. I can listen to your podcast. I ain't got time for that. I forget what I say after 5 minutes.
The crazy part, I didn't, Dan Ainge, I did not like because we had just finished playing them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, me and Mario are tight. Me and Mario are really good friends. And when he drew back and just hit Mario with the ball in his face on purpose, it was like, wow, did you really just do that shit?
Yeah.
And so, we were I just never liked him. And when we got there, he was saying that, I did that shit on purpose. He told me and Sam that, Sam Cassell. I'm like, me and Sam looked at each other like, did this motherfucker just say this shit? And after that, I did not like it. I never liked him. And then from that moment on, and then we became the head coach, I didn't like him even more because he I can go on and on, man.
No, but wait a second. But Rob, real quick, to play devil's advocate, Jay Kidd, and I know Jay's different, but Jay Kidd said like the practices with Danny were like super chill, like Bob, like as
soft.
like okay. So you're saying they're soft because
soft.
Like, I was told that like his coaching style was because they won like 57 games with like him and McDyess and like all these guys. They were saying I'm just saying he came across as likable. I 100% see your experience, but were there other people that didn't like mess with him?
Let me just say when we the thing that happened on that team is we got there. It was Chucky Brown, Mark Brown, Sam Cassell, coming off championships, playing with Dream, Otis, Vernon, and Kenny. We go hard in practice. Mm-hmm. We get to Phoenix and it's like freaking okay. What's going on here?
It's like the practices now.
Yeah, it's like we're not used to this. And then when we signed, it was so funny when kids signed with us. Well, got traded for us. KJ didn't come to practice. He all of a sudden was sick. I was like, are you serious? He had a cold for 3 days. He didn't show up because he was pissed because they got J Kidd. I was like, are you serious right now? And then when he comes back to practice, he says, okay, I'm sorry. And he doesn't explain, he doesn't, set it straight with the team. He brings in, I love this guy and I hate that he passed with Wayman Tisdale. Who else was that he bring in? Danny Manning. He brought in his crew and he took him into that little room downstairs, Chan. I know that practice facility. They got like a little room there. He takes him in there. I said, hell, I don't know what he said in there. I said, no.
He said this to Kevin Johnson? He said this.
Yeah, Kevin Johnson was in there. Yeah, he had this private meeting with these 4 guys. I'm like, bullshit. I'm like, you need to tell us. I'm like, he need to say that shit to us. I said, no, it don't go like that, man. We're a fucking team. I said, this is the funny part. I said, this is why we fucking came back 0-2 and beat your ass. This is why we came back 3-1 beat you. Like, y'all fucking soft.
Oh, man.
And I just go off on him, man. And after that, it just was spiraling down here because when you were used to a certain way of practicing and so used to a certain way of carrying yourself on a team and all of a sudden things change. And I know you have to change and adapt with time, but that was just something, fourth year in the league. I'm like, this shit ain't right, man. This is why I won 2 championships in Houston. This is why y'all ain't win shit. And so I just went off, man. That's why me and Danny never really got along because he was like, oh, you got an attitude. I see, I got an attitude about winning. That's my fucking attitude. Ooh. I said, so
it's hard to argue with your dog.
Yeah.
So it was a hard pill to taste, man. And it was just.
Hey, listen, man, that shit won you. That girl, a towel has never had the more success in the history of human beings because of that towel. You got traded and won 3 championships.
Yeah,
that's
do you still have that towel? The little towel.
That towel is in Boston somewhere. It's in Boston somewhere. Man, I've never been that mad in my life, man. When it comes to like a sport.